What's up everybody, welcome to Money Management channel. My name is Andrei and today I'm gonna be doing an update on MMTLP and FINRA saga.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed, born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up.
And guys, for today's video I have several quite interesting news. First of all, I will show you the information that potentially Donald Trump has the letter of MMTLP community that is awaiting his signature, and I will show you what I am thinking about this, and I will show you some thoughts from the community itself. On top of that, I will show you very important update from the litigation processes and from the most recent arbitration process against Schwab, and I have to admit that we have very good developments in these cases. And before we dive deep into all of this, guys, if you want to know more about technical analysis, if you want to enhance your trading skills, feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel and join my Patreon account. And guys, this is the post that I wrote on January the 30th. It is a public post that you can find on my Patreon. It is pretty much all trade alerts that I made from December the 1st to January the 30th. These are the results of these alerts. You can see that all of the trades were in profit except this one on December 19th. TRWV hit a stop loss order, and we've lost about 1.33% on this trade, but all other trades are in green. That is why you can use these trades in your personal trades as a part of your due diligence. So guys, you've seen many of my trade calls, all delivering strong returns in just hours. Now it's your turn to trade smarter. Join my safe haven Patreon tier, built for traders who want consistency, structure, and real results. You will get a detailed plan to protect your portfolio, monthly one-on-one Zoom sessions with me, and private Discord access with all trade alerts, lessons, and exclusive updates. And here is the best part. If you don't earn more than your subscription price within 30 days, you will receive a full refund, no question asked, as long as your trading account balance is at least $2,500 and you've taken all the recommended trades during the period. No excuses, no fine print. You profit or you don't pay. Join today and let's start building your edge in the market. So, and let's begin with this tweet that was written by Ann Vanderstel. I have to admit that it is quite lengthy tweet, but I don't want to read you this tweet in its entirety. I just want to pay attention to the very beginning, and I will give you my thoughts about this. So, Ann Vanderstel wrote, President Trump, FINRA and the SEC are moving to allow deletion of cat data older than 3 years. This is not routine. This risks erasing critical evidence of market manipulation, naked shorting, and systemic fraud. At the very moment Americans are demanding transparency, regulators are preparing to shrink the window of accountability. You have the authority to act. Sign this executive order, enforce strict T+1 settlement, criminalize naked shorting, or hold all participants accountable. Preserve all cat data. This is about protecting the financial future of every American and restoring trust in our markets. Do not let the evidence disappear. Please sign the order. And guys, I have to admit that I told you multiple times we have to be professional in our actions. And unfortunately, this is not so professional from the Ann Vanderstel side. Let me remind you about T+1 settlement rule. Guys, if you take a look right here, this is 314 pages document which explains how the T+1 rule is implemented, and it became effective on May the 5th of 2023. As you can see, we already have this T+1 rule, and if you want just a tiny explanation how it should work, you can find these official documents on the sec.gov website, official website, which explains how the T+1 rule should be implemented. And it is working right now, guys. Next one, let me show you the second part. Criminalize naked shorting. I have to admit that the naked shorting is already banned in the United States of America. For the majority of players, it was banned basically, I believe, in 2008, but we have some exceptions from this rule. And guys, authorities should be responsible for these exceptions, and that is why I'm making these videos in order to make SEC and FINRA responsible for these actions, and they have to be very professional in their work. On top of that, guys, Ann Vanderstiel wrote, preserve all CAT data. 3 years is more than enough to have this data available for example, some legal cases. But if you file the lawsuit against authorities or against someone, and you need this data in order to prove your theory or disprove the theory of your counterparty, you can ask the court to preserve this data for any time period you need. And that is why, guys, I don't think that this update is 100% necessary for the MMTLP community, because for now, guys, unfortunately we have a lot of smoke and mirrors, and unfortunately one of the smoke and mirrors is this tweet from Ann Vanderstiel. The second one, guys, believe me or not, is the tweet from Busy Brands, and he wrote this just several hours ago in response to Ann Vanderstiel tweet. And Busy Brands wrote, as you already know, and President Trump has an MMTLP letter awaiting his signature, and MMTLP letter is currently moving through the White House review legal process. Members of my group have worked tirelessly over the last 2 years to reach this milestone and secure this representation for the MMTLP community. For this reason, I will not deviate. I will support any executive order once the MMTLP situation is resolved, or if Donald Trump uses MMTLP as catalyst to expose the crimes that justify such an executive order. As I have emphasized in meetings with White House high-level officials, EOS regarding market reform typically only benefit active, publicly traded companies. Since we are not currently trading, and since I believe my cape will not succumb to trading in a corrupt market, resolution must come first. Godspeed. And guys, unfortunately, this is another smoke and mirrors. Busy Brands wrote that members of his group have worked tirelessly over the last 2 years to reach this milestone. And the milestone is just sending a letter of MMTLP community to the White House. Guys, believe me, you can achieve this goal within just 10 minutes. Just write your letter and send it to White House, and it will be officially sent to the President of the United States of America. And the second question, will it be put into the consideration of this entire process of solving these problems for the entire US stock market? I believe that it is a huge question mark, but to be honest, this is a huge misconception of the actions that should be made in order to solve the MMTLP community problem. And here is quite interesting tweets from so-called other side of the community. As you can see, Manuel wrote this, and he made this with the help of artificial intelligence. The letter, like it was written by the 5-year-old boy. And it says, Dear Mr. Trump, hi Mr. Trump, my name is Busy Brands, I write like this. Can you help with MMTLP, please? We have been waiting a long time. They say soon, but nothing happens. It's like when someone says there is a pizza, but no pizza. We just want a resolution. Nothing fancy, just the truth. If you can fix it, that would be really cool. If not, you can say something. Okay. Bye, Mr. Trump, thanks for reading my letter. From Busy Brands, I tried my best. And guys, Sam wrote this and she explains, White House receives over 60,000 letters a week. POTUS doesn't really personally read and sign letters. That would be OPC, the entire office handles correspondence, reviewing anything sent to POTUS. If they give a fuck, Atkins would have addressed in last 1.5 years. And guys, this is a real story, because there is plenty of letters that White House receives each and every week, and this letter from Busy Brands is nothing else but a smoke and mirrors. Let me show you that we have another person who is trying to promote the MMTLP story, and unfortunately he's also one-sided person, because he doesn't want to admit that this problem is much more complicated than just a problem from authorities' side. and he wanted to push this case through the 2nd Congressional District of Missouri. And well, I have to admit that on the one side it is very good that we have this type of people who are promoting the MMTLP case, because the more people knows about this story, the more likely that we might solve it within foreseeable future. But at the same time, guys, I have to admit that he's not showing the entire problem of this story. He doesn't want to admit that the board of directors is involved in this criminal process, and that is why, guys, some people might think that he is not 100% professional, and that is why it will not lead us to any results from his side. Let me show you another tweet. Basically, wait a second. Yes, it is the update from Venturion Capital, and he wrote 2 articles on top of previous 3. And it is Article 4, the corporate action, the halt, and what it actually did, and what it cost them. The next article is article number 5 of 7. And guys, I highly encourage you to read these articles, because these articles explains how the things were going during the U3 halt, and before the U3 halt, and after the U3 halt. And you can find it through the Venturion Capital Twitter account. You can find it right here, Sitting Bear 0921. This is the address of his Twitter account, and you can read these articles just to know the entire problem of the MMTLP community. So let's switch to some legal cases that are active and ongoing. In Wilcott versus Securities and Exchange Commission case, we have 2 updates that were published on April the 3rd and on April the 6th. It is main document notice of appeal and another notice of appeal. Again, unfortunately, I don't have the access behind the paywall, and it is for your information that Contic Wilcott is still fighting for the MMTLP community. On top of that, I want to pay attention to the to the set of tweets from Scott Roth. First of all, he responded to Manuel's tweet where he pointed to the letter that was to the tweet that was written by Busy Brands, and Scott wrote, "Do you really think that Crackpot got a letter on DJT's desk awaiting a signature when Commerce staff and FINRA people have been threatened?" And guys, again, Scott Roth is pointing to the problem that I explained to you back in the days, that we have to be professional and we shouldn't do anything that might discredit us as a community. And unfortunately, all the threats that were made by the MMTLP community members that they addressed to FINRA are not the best actions that potentially, well, might prevent us from at least some kind of resolution. On top of that, guys, this is the most important part of today's video. Scott wrote this 14 hours ago. MMTLP, to all you Schwab and TD Ameritrade shareholders. First arbitration hearing was an hour yesterday, and the board wants my written discovery request for the March 20th of 2023 audio, where TD Ameritrade people said MMTLP was trading at 100x the lead market. Schwab attorney Jeff Goldman said they had recovered some of the phone calls, but couldn't and wouldn't tell the board whether March the 20th, 2023 call had been retained. I pointed out there was an email chain showing they had it, destroyed it, then suddenly found it, and that they had a legal duty under the Exchange Act to preserve it, and it had been noticed in other proceedings. These were in 3 court cases. Keep your fingers crossed, because it affects everyone's recovery if produced. The motion is traceable on the FINRA webpage as Trott's motion for a litigation held in Scott Roth versus Charles Schwab. And guys, this is very important part which basically proves my expression, proves my words that if you want to use any information that should be preserved from deletion like cat data, you have to ask the judge to preserve it, and judge should make a ruling in order to protect this information for as long as needed. That is why, guys, keep an eye on this arbitration, because it might lead to very interesting results. And if you like my video, please hit the like button and see you in the next video. Bye.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium